Good morning. Or, if you're in Europe or somewhere else watching, good afternoon, good evening. This is episode 176. Let Genius Take the Wheel. And I am Dr. Evil Genius. First things first. If you're part of the replay gang, I salute you. Thank you so much for supporting what I'm attempting to do on this platform. All right. A little bit of an autopsy on today's training. Let's dissect it a little bit. I hit 315 again on the leg press. And the point was to expand on the volume at 315 on the leg press while listening to my body. Be a recurring theme today. Really trying to listen to my body to find out if I am rehabbing my left quad tendon effectively. So I've been sticking to like 3 sets of 5 or 3 sets of 3 on most things. Today I attempted 5 sets of 5 on the leg press, and I felt a little bit of funny feelings but in my leg, but felt a lot better than I was expecting. I'm not sure what I was expecting, really. But I'm always ready for that signal that it's time to stop because something is not going right. Like, it's kind of like Murphy's Law, waiting for the discomfort or pain to show. And, the knee felt a little funny, just a little bit, but never rose to the point of like true discomfort or outright pain. And then I moved to the leg curl, and that worked out pretty well. I did a set of 10 at 130, still not working at my max, but then I did individual legs at 70, and that felt pretty good. So I was happy with that. And then I hit, a set of bilateral leg extensions, and then also switched to the single leg. Again, really trying to work on focusing on the injured leg and making sure that I'm really contracting the body of the quad and not basically just extending my knee and putting undue pressure on the quadriceps tendon. And I was successful in that. Maybe a little easier than I thought it was going to be. And I was lucky with parking today, so there was like no issues, no worries. And so today is going a little bit better than I anticipated overall. And I'm happy with that. But obviously, me hitting the gym to train legs was not the first thing I did today. The first thing I did today was work with a client, and it was a very interesting situation. This client works really, really hard. Shows up at 5 a.m. twice a week, and um, she's obviously human, but she's really not the type to give excuses or you know she comes in, she works hard, she's highly coachable. um, Earnest is the word that I would use to describe. Very disciplined, very serious person. Doesn't play a lot of games with really anything in her life. And sometimes I wish that I was a little bit more like her. But we talked a little bit about essentially what's burnout. It's pretty much what it is. And I've talked to you guys on this platform a couple of times about the the penalties you stand to pay when you overtrain. And when you think about the amount of stress that people take on in their life, the uh, the penalties are really not unlike um, overtraining. The penalties are very similar. Sir Fernando, the Fondue King, how are you doing today? You know, so the symptoms that I heard, I was just like, wow, I know all about this. Lots of pressure, lots of worrying about, the possible future that may not be. You see that?
Yeah.
That's why I was asking if there was like a wildfire or something. Because
I didn't see anything.
yeah, that looks crazy. And it looks like it's coming from the north.
Yeah, it looked like that.
That looks horrible.
It would not be the Canadian fire.
Oh my
shit,
God.
the fuck!
Wow, what a piece of shit, man. Fuck. They just don't believe in stop signs. Stop signs on the highway are arguably just as or more important than on regular neighborhood streets.
Slow.
Yeah, it's getting a little foggy. Sir Fernando says, all is well, my friend. I hope the same for you taking a hydration break. Yeah, actually, sadly, me and Mrs. Evil were kind of lamenting that we could not get in contact with you because uh, we expected that you were running the New York City Marathon on Sunday, and we wanted to see if we could probably get some sort of, like a burger or something with you, or something. But we hadn't heard from you in a little while on this platform. I was like, damn, there's got to be a way that I can make it easier for people to contact me to collaborate on different things. But oh well. Mrs. Evil completed the race in something like 5 hours and 35 minutes or something like that. Ooh. But yeah, so talking about the burnout, the mental load that we take on, pause, in life, and sometimes we believe that we are obligated to do certain things, and if we don't do them, that's some sort of reflection on our character. And for you know in some ways that might be true within reason, but that is not true in all circumstances. It's not a one size fits all. And what I mean by that is, not only does that not fit for every person, it doesn't fit even one person in all circumstances. Taking some rest time doesn't make you lazy, right? Not taking a rest from rest time, that makes you lazy. See what Sir Fernando has to say. I did. I ran a 4:07. Nice. I was feeling sluggish, probably due to Hartford Marathon being so soon before on October 19. Do you have a Discord or business YouTube platform email address? Yeah, if you go to the Talking Shit podcast, we do have a Discord, and you can find me and DM me somewhere in there. So the podcast does have a Discord. So, basically go to any of our live streams or videos, and you'll find the link to our Discord in the description. All right. So yeah, sometimes you have to be able to keep things in their proper context. If you are working really hard at your craft, you're taking care of your family, and you're not sitting around eating garbage and fancy packaging and living a sedentary lifestyle, then taking a day off from training doesn't mean that you're a lazy bum. Sometimes our mind goes before uh, before our body goes, and so I I did a live stream here some months ago about me falling ill due to overtraining, and I can tell you that the the symptoms of overtraining, the first symptoms were not physical, they were mental. And it started with me like really dreading going to the gym. And you guys know how hard I work. Catherine Anna Hauserman is here. How are you doing? Good to see you once again. You guys know how hard I work when I hit the gym. You guys know. But when I first, what's really loud?
Outside.
Oh, yeah.
Tree.
Yep. I'm just trying to not to.
Yeah, get the rock.
Yep. Abdul, get the rocks.
No.
So you guys know how hard I work. But I really started to dread going to the gym. I would go there, give it my all. I was taking copious amounts of pre-workout. it just kept pushing, it kept pushing, it kept pushing. But I knew I was in trouble when I was in the middle of my workout, and the only thing I could do, the only thing I could think about was going to sleep. That's I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. And then I felt my mood go real, real sour. It went south. The dark clouds came. I started, my brain started to lie to me and tell me stuff that wasn't true, that were negative. My brain never tells me anything that's not true, that's positive. It's always negative. Then I finished the workout and then I started to feel feverish. And then I looked it up. Sex drive was gone, appetite was gone. I started getting fever chills. I was overtraining. And I'm also pretty sure that some of the issue came from uh, some of the issue came from the psychological pressure that I put on myself to show up to the gym every day. I think at that point I hadn't had I hadn't taken a single off day at that point in more than 2 weeks. And so, I felt the negative mental and physical consequences of overtraining. And, I ended up having to, take some pain medication, which, it blunts your body's ability to synthesize muscle. So I did all of that crazy hard work and moved backwards. It backfired. I wanted to be that guy that could learn to be so disciplined that I was going to show up to the gym every day without fail. And I lost gains. I worked really, really hard. And what did I have to show for it? I lost the next day's workout. I had to push, I think, the leg day to the following day, so I didn't miss that day for the week. It cost me, forcing that one workout caused me to lose a couple of other workouts. And it's very disheartening. And so, me having these experiences, obviously, it helps me professionally because I can speak from a place of expertise, having gone through the symptoms of overtraining. So I can actually, help somebody identify what it is and how it works. But, as I was trying to lend some support, I got resistance when I said, hey, it might be a good idea for you to drop one run per week. until you feel a little bit more like yourself. Because, it's not just the physical toll of the training, but it's also the pressure that's put on oneself to show up and perform X number of times a week. And it's not just the training that, this particular person has to show up and perform at. They got to show up and perform for their family. They have to show up and perform for their employer. It seems like we have more responsibilities in our generation with less support. So I try to be the biggest support that I can for my people. That is right, Catherine. That is right. But I'm, making this the theme of today's stream because I always tell you that I believed in you guys. I tell you that pretty much at the end of every stream. And I think I have good reasons to believe in you guys because you guys work hard. You're not lazy people. You don't make a lot of excuses. And so there's no reason that I should not have confidence in you. There's no reason. Thank you, Bus, for occupying all of that space and allowing me to make it pass. Okay. I talked a lot this weekend about keeping things in their proper perspective. I talked to Mrs. Evil about her performance in the New York City Marathon on Sunday. I talked to another one of my clients about his seemingly disappointing performance on the deadlift, also on Sunday. And, as a coach, I want everybody to work as hard as they can, but we have to keep things in their proper perspective. When you don't perform at the level that you expect or that you hope for, you have to deconstruct your performance and everything surrounding that performance. I had a long, drawn out, confusing conversation with Mrs. Evil yesterday about how she would rate her state of readiness for the New York City Marathon compared to the Berlin Marathon just a month prior. Now, Sir Fernando ran marathons basically 2 weeks apart. And I think Mrs. Evil did that once. She's run marathons about a month apart, at least on 2 occasions. And so, she has these lofty performance goals that have been really thrust upon her because she wants to be able to qualify for the world major that is the Boston Marathon, and that has a time requirement. It has a time requirement. And, when she doesn't get the performance that she wants, it's like, okay, you're disappointed. Okay, number one, let's find out if you really should be disappointed or if you should be proud. And then next, we need to figure out where the holes are in your training so that you can, shave off time. I got, this other guy, he really wants to get to 400 pounds on the deadlift. And, he was having some issues, having some trouble. And what ended up happening? Well, um, he he got sick a couple of weeks ago, and and couldn't train, and didn't deadlift for 3 weeks, and then came back a bit weaker. And it's like, you know, what did you expect? You're going to come back stronger, being out of practice and not feeling 100% because your energy still feels drained? What were you expecting? Was it put your goals off a little bit further into the future? Yes, but that's life. That's life, right? Things are not always going to happen on the timeline that we prescribe. This is just reality, and we have to find ways to live with our reality. But having things not go your way when you're trying your best is not a reason to, harshly judge yourself. You know, you try your best. Let the chips fall where they may. It's just that you have to try your best every time out. There are going to be days where you're going to feel very good and you're going to exceed your expectations. There are going to be days you don't feel so good at all. And you might meet your expectations or fall short. But that's just part of the human condition. It's just what it is. Sometimes the best work we can do is no work at all, so that we can regenerate energy, so that we can get the work done uh, over the long term. I look at the overuse injuries that have crept up, and it's like if I would have decided to work out once or twice less per week in those times that I got hurt, could I have avoided some of those injuries? I look at my quad tendon, and I'm now, I think, on week 3 or 4 of trying to rehab my knee, the bottom of my quad. And it's like, well, if I didn't have this injury, I probably would be pushing close to 600 pounds on the on the leg press, but now I'm working at, just over 300, trying to come back from the injury. So sometimes less is more, you know. Sometimes the pressure we put on ourselves moves us further away from our goals. You know. Yeah, Sir Fernando, hit my Dr. Evil Genius account um, on Discord. Hit me up on the DM side of things. It would have been cool if we could have met up on Sunday, but it's good that you finished the race. That's the important thing. Keep building up that endurance. And I will tell you that running that race, 2 weeks apart from the other race that you ran, you're going to see the benefits of that over time. Might have felt shitty in the time that you were running, but the improvement in your cardiovascular endurance, you're gonna like what that does for you long term. I'm gonna tell you guys, like I always tell you guys, I believe in every single one of you. You've earned the right to believe yourself to be capable and strong. You guys work. You guys work really, really hard. All of you. A lot of y'all work a lot harder than I do. I'll tell you that. And I respect the hell out of all of y'all's. Yeah, your calves feel like shit, but you're just building up endurance. And, obviously, you know, it's better to feel that in your calves than to feel it in or around your knee. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, man. All of you. Everybody that ran the New York City Marathon, I salute you. I'm just not going to do it. I have no desire. That's your cross to bear, I guess. But I do salute everybody that had the discipline to start the race, and then extra special credit to those who finished the race. For real. Catherine says she couldn't roll the New York City Marathon. Probably applies to me too, Catherine. All right, y'all. There's been another Tuesday morning. I hope that I could say something that will inspire more introspection. And hopefully for some of you, you guys will take it a little easy on your own soul. Just a little easy. Not a lot easy. Just a little easy. Allow yourself to breathe for a minute. All right? But yeah, see you guys on Thursday. And yeah, I'll check you guys on Thursday if there still is in the United States. All right. Peace.